Hello there and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel. I'm the RNGenius, but you may call me Eric, and in the last episode we left off on the Courageous, which is in our sail type airship that Oliver had manufactured for him, or like he had this be built for him, and now we're traveling across the land. They're gonna get us to roar, and I mean, we can walk around in it. It's pretty nice. It is pretty nice. Also, is the sound a little loud? I should have checked that before starting the recording. It's maybe a tiny bit loud. No, it's absolutely perfect. I don't know what I'm talking about. The captain of this airship, or the one who's piloting it, happens to be the late Radiant Blade Master, Laura's father. But before we talk to those two, they have exclamation marks above their heads. I would rather just talk to everybody. Hello there, I'm Curtis, the radio officer. Is this your first time on the bridge of a military airship? If you've seen one, you've seen them all, really. The main difference being that the Courageous is still new and shiny. Well, that and the fact that the ship and its entire crew are unaffiliated with either faction. That is unusual. The Courageous is completely unaffiliated with the major factions in Erebonia. Half of our crew might be from the 7th Armored Division, but despite being part of the army, they're neutral too. Their position is pretty similar to Prince Oliver's, actually. Major Vander is a good example of that. Fair enough. Good to know. We're cruising along so smoothly that it almost feels like we're one with the wind. It's like the ship is a crimson Pegasus soaring through the sky. We're really lucky to know who we know. I can't imagine many people will ever get to experience something like this. We owe the winds and the gods our thanks. We're cruising along so smoothly that it almost feels like we're one with the wind. It's like the ship is a crimson Pegasus soaring through the sky. Why do you only have one line of dialogue, guys? Are you that amazed? I mean, it's pretty nice. But I've been on plenty of airships and trails in the sky. I would, like, travel around everywhere on airships. And, you know how they travel on airships. You board an airship, then you talk to everybody, and then you're there. Then you manage to get to the finish line. Engine room, come in. Can you hear me? We've reached maximum cruising speed. All green here on the bridge. Oh, hold on. Engine 4 is struggling a bit. Can you give it a look? Engine room, come in. Alright. Alright. Hey there, I'm Graft. I'm from the Imperial Army's Air Force. I have to say, though, I've never seen a ship like this. And if that wasn't enough to get excited about, I get to work under the Radiant Blade Master himself. If Prince Oliver wants to bring about that ideal of his, the Blade Master's the right guy to have in his corner. Safe to say that I'm looking forward to seeing just what effect this airship has on the world. Everyone here is well aware that we are working with a legend in Captain Arcade. If Prince Oliver wants to bring about that ideal of his, he picked the right guy to do it with. Safe to say that I can't wait to see how this airship changes the world. I would very much like to look at some of these electronics, but, you know, Chrono. Cool stuff. Welcome to the Courageous' bridge. You might not believe it, but Helmsman Graft's exceptionally good at his job. I'll notice even the slightest diversion in our course too, so no need to worry. Everyone here on the bridge is a specialist in their field, so there's no need to worry. We'll get you to your destination safe and sound. By the way, you'll have to wait for my mouth to warm up a little bit. I just got up. And by now, you're probably gonna have to get used to the fact that there's only gonna be 2 recording sessions per month. Like every 2 weeks, I'm gonna be able to record for 1 day, which is, you know, not great, but currently it's all I can do. I knew that the captain's daughter would be coming on board, but seeing them talk is rather heartwarming. Please relax and leave the operation of the airship to us. The crew here come from a wide range of backgrounds, but we're all confident in our skills. I happen to have been scouted from the Epstein Foundation by Prince Oliver himself. What a unique, fascinating person he is. Everything on that airship is really cutting edge. Prince Oliver does love his surprises. First his return to Heimdall on the Arsane, now this? Everything on this airship is really cutting edge. It do. How much is there? There is much. Let's go to the hold. The hold. Well, there's people I have to talk to as well. This is the engine room? No. Yeah, this is the engine room. Elevator. You'll find the ship's hangar beyond here. Feel free to go in if you like. Unfortunately, though, we can't let you into the factory and engine room opposite. Eliza. Oh, getting this ship ready for today was a real struggle. ZCF and the Epstein Foundation's help really greased the wheels, though. So, yeah, welcome to the Courageous. This baby's the most state-of-the-art airship of the world, hands down. Ooh, getting this ship ready was a struggle. You've got tanks on board, guys. Guys, why do you have tanks? I don't get it. You didn't have like great weaponry outside. Why do you have cannons on board? Splendid. Take a look, Peyton. Wait. Professor Thompson and Peyton? We might know these people. We're cruising so fast, yet we remain completely stable, just as my tests predicted that we would. That's great. This is a big win for the both of us. I never could have done it without you. I owe you one. Oh, my apologies, I got a bit overexcited. I'm Thompson, a professor from the Rower Institute of Technology. Fluid mechanics are my specialty. I had a part in designing this airship's hull, you see. I honestly can't believe that my calculations of surpassing 3,000 Celch per hour is such a huge ship were spot on. I'm so happy I could jump for joy. We don't know him, he's not from ZCF. Name's Peyton, I'm a mechanic from ZCF. Yeah, but you? I was actually in charge of maintenance on the RSA, which is why they were scoping me up for the Courageous here. The more work you do on something, the more attached you get to it. The Courageous is like my child at this point. It kind of chokes me up to see it finally take flight. There's always something special about a ship's first flight. It's like watching your kids strike out on their own. Well, except for the fact that I'll be sticking with it until the very end. Alright, Eliza, show me what's up. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I had no idea the Rainford Company was involved in developing something on this scale all this time. Then I find out that it was a collaboration with the Epstein Foundation and ZCF. And on top of that, she's got her hands in the development of our Arcus units too. It's way too much work for one person. How many projects does Mother have under her wing right now? Well, I'm afraid I can't give a simple answer to that. But suffice to say, the chairman only knows about a small number of the projects in development by the Rainford Group. Lately, the directors have. I knew it. Oh? Hello, Master Rean. Sorry, am I interrupting something? No, it's okay. Have you finished exploring the airship? I expect it'll be a while longer before we reach Rower. Finished? I don't even know if I've seen half of it yet. It's kind of overwhelming. I'm looking forward to landing at Rower, though. It's been a while since I've last seen the industrial metropolis. It's not too far from my hometown, so I always hear about it in passing. Oh, that's right. You're from Emir, so I guess you would then. You want a little refresher? I can bring you up to speed on all things about Rower. Sure, why not? Rower used to be a factory town, but it grew into a hotspot for technology as a result of its steel and heavy industry. The population is around 200,000, and since the city is in the Norsha province, it's under Marquis Ragnar's jurisdiction. Ah, that's right. I still find it kind of wild that Angelica is his daughter. You know, last time I visited, it feels like the whole city was man-made. It felt like the whole city was man-made. Trees and grass were rare sights. It is kind of hard to tell how large the city really is. Well, the city itself is basically one giant structure, divided into several levels. It's been expanded so many times that even the long-time residents occasionally wind up in places they don't recognize. Why, I've lost count of numbers, and I've lost count of the number of times I've had to go pick up Lady Eliza when she lost her way. That was when I was a kid. Don't say it like it still happens. But really, it was a long time ago. Something tells me we're looking at the not quite so distant past. Anyway, north of Rohr is the Sachsen iron mine. The iron mine there makes its way into most of the Rainford Group's products, and some. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry for my spelling and pronunciation errors here. The iron mine there makes its way into most of the Rainford Group's products in some form or another. The amount of ore they get from just one mine is immense. The Empire would be a different place today without it. I don't doubt it. Even our textbooks mention the Sachsen mine. It's been vital to the Empire since back before the Orbital Revolution. In the center of Rohr, you can't miss the Rainford Group's corporate headquarters, which is also basically my home. Honestly, I was hoping I wouldn't have to go back anytime soon. Eliza. I guess there's no point in moping about it now. We've yet to have a field study that didn't spiral into some sort of hectic adventure, but I'm ready if you are. We'll just take it as it comes. I'll be wishing you all the best. Alright, I need some tea. The tea has reached perfect drinking temperature. I never would have expected I'd return to Rohr like this. Oh well, there's no point in wasting my energy worrying. There's no telling what's going to happen during this field study, so let's just hope it's a good one. We should be arriving at Rohr soon. Please allow me to escort you to the person in charge of your field study once we do. I guess we know who that'll be. Don't say it! I don't even want to think about it! Nope. There. 3rd floor. Junction area. This is probably going to be the largest area, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, let's go to the deck. Hey, you guys. Supply room. Hi. Hey there, welcome to the supply room. We don't actually have too many supplies here, though, since we were kind of in a rush. Still, if you want anything, let me know. You'll be my first customer. Hey, I didn't want to do that. Sorry, that's my analog stick. I'm messing about. Bunch of random shit, Eh. Barracks. Okay. 4 beds. They have 4 whole beds. When it comes to firepower, the ship is equipped with a bare minimum. That's not just due to a lack of time either. It was part of a conscious decision on our part. We want the focus on this ship to be the things it stands for, not how much fancy weaponry it's got. Of course, that doesn't mean we won't react appropriately if anyone's foolish enough to try anything against us. Can you explain the 6 tanks in the hold then? Because that's what I'd call firepower right there. We've got a bunch of skilled crew members on this ship. While we don't have everyone on the ship yet, while we don't have everyone on the ship out on the ship yet, pretty much everyone's a specialist in their respective fields. I'm looking forward to when we get the full crew on board. Care to do some explaining? Instructor Sarah, Toval, what are you guys doing out here? Oh, just a little bracer-to-bracer information swapping. That's about the long and short of it. Been a while since I last saw you guys, though. Not since last month on Legram. Yeah, always nice to see a friendly face, though. Well, despite keeping in touch with him and setting up these arrangements, it came as a surprise to me to see him on board, too. Clearly it was meant to be. Honestly, I was only brought on because of my connection with Viscount Arsate. This airship really isn't a class all on its own, though. It's not every day you see a ship owned by the Imperial family and captained by the Radiant Blade Master. This cruiser has the potential to be an important force in Erebonia going forward. Without ties to the Imperial or Provincial armies, it can potentially keep both of them in check if need be. It might not be able to do that quite as well as a strong guild presence could, but it'll still help protect a lot of people. That's true. It still frustrates me how the guild used to be an institution here, and now we're barely keeping the lights on. At least the Crossbell branch sends its people over to help us out when we need a hand, though. Wenzel's one thing, but we owe McLean so many favors I've lost count. McLean? Wait, are you talking about... Oh, yeah, I guess you would have heard of him. He's an A-rank bracer over in the Crossbell branch. A guy we used to work with named Wenzel works there now, too. Wait, maybe you should back it up a bit. The guy we're talking about is Arios McLean, aka the Divine Blade of Wind. Another Divine Blade, huh? A master of the Eight Leaves School of Swordsmanship. No wonder I've heard of him. The name probably sounds familiar to you because he's also a practitioner of the Eight Leaves One Blade style. Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. I've never met him myself, but I heard a lot about him from my master. He mastered the school's second form and sounds about as untouchable as anyone who holds the title of Divine Blade. Well, he's pretty damn strong, I'll give you that. Bailed me out of more tough spots than I'd like to admit. Speaking of, you know who else is a student of the Eight Leaves School? Cassius Bright. We were talking about him before, remember? He's the bracer who took command during that big incident 2 years ago. Though, from what I heard, he left the way of the sword behind a while back. Cassius Bright was here in Erebonia? Wait, 2 years ago? It was not eventful time, to put it lightly. And yeah, we have Cassius to thank for us getting past that, but afterward, well, you know the story from the air. They shuttered guild branches all across the land, one after the other, and your dear sweet instructor was out of a job. I'd be glad to give you all the grisly details, but it's a long story. We should probably save it for another time. Technically, I have the details. You can, if you check out the Trails in the Sky the Third, there is an episode with an appropriate title. Like among the 130s or 40s in terms of episodes. I want to say. It's probably wrong, though. But I rewatched that scene about Cassius Bright, you know, helping out these guild branches. Quite nice to see these, interacting storylines. But hey, the guild seems to have a good track record with folks from the Eight Leaf School. Maybe you should consider a career as a bracer. Doors always open, you know? Me, a bracer? Oh, I'd never really thought about it before. Hey, that's enough of us singing the bracer blues without you trying to recruit my students. Never hurts to start them early. Seriously though, we're always looking for more good people. If that's something you wanted to do, I wouldn't turn you down. I'll give it some thought. This ship would prove as an effective deterrent since it's not affiliated with either faction. When you look at it that way, you can see the first steps of what the prince is setting out to do. And of course, me and the guild will be behind him all the way. Yeah. I still haven't been able to repay Cassius for everything he did either. Oh well, we'll just have to do what we can to live up to the guild's ideals and keep the bracer spirit alive. I wonder if that has something to do with how she ended up working at the academy. It sounds like she has a lot on her mind right now. Are you three working out what to do for our concert? Yeah, we've got the general gist of it figured out now, but let me see. Let me ask you, Rean. Would you prefer male or female vocals? That's really a really important question too, since it'll change the audience we draw. That's a tough decision. Why don't we try both then? You know what? That'd be perfect. Yeah, I'd really like that idea. Two songs would be the perfect length too. Rehearsing will be a bit tougher, but I think we should do it. It lets us use both plans too. You won't see me complaining. He seems really excited for this. Why don't you have a, like, male and a female singer? Why, I mean, they work very well together. It's not, I mean, I don't get it. I'm glad that neither of the plans we came up with will go to waste. Right then, time for a little more brainstorming with crone juices. This might be a rehearsal, this might make rehearsal a bit tougher, but it'll work out. Come on, nobody wants to see dudes sing. It's all about the ladies. Besides, if we make the outfits skimpy enough, guys will be breaking down the doors to get in. Come on, nobody wants to see dudes sing. Your ideas have all the subtlety of a sledgehammer. You realize that this will put us in direct competition with Class 1, correct? We'll need to do something with a degree of class in order to take them on. Your ideas have all the subtlety of a sledgehammer. By the way, I hope, like, I have 2 frame drop or frame rate overlays on right now, which I don't know why this is a thing, but currently there's in the top right the frame rate overlay with information that you definitely can't see, but in the top left you might be able to see the counter with 30 and 31 happening regularly there. I hope you can't see it, but I mean, I can't really turn it off. So I've tried. Boarding gate. Wait, I can't go there. That's also the boarding gate. Oh, it's not as large as I thought it'd be. Welcome to the Courageous. Prince Oliviert and Major Vander are on the front deck if you're looking for them. Why don't you go say hello? How do you guys know where we're going anyways? Wow, the ship is amazing! We're flying faster than a bird! Take that, bird! And I kind of want one. I wonder if Gramps will get me my own airship if I ask him real nice. You can already fly around on Air Gatlam. Don't go getting greedy. Wow, the ship is amazing! We're flying faster than a bird! Take that, bird! Okay, I wanted to read that out again. The view from up here is so beautiful. I feel like I'm weightless, soaring peacefully above the clouds. You know, this is actually the first time I've ever been aboard an airship. Ah, I think I'm starting to feel a little dizzy. Is that normal? I mean, yeah. The airship we used in the core was pretty fast, but this one's even faster. I think, in fact, its specs seem pretty high across the board. Fancy stuff. Never a dull moment in Class 7, I guess. At long last, the Courageous is finally taken to the skies of Erebonia. I feel like a mother hen watching her chicks leave the nest. Yeah, I'll take your word for it. This may sound a bit forward of me to say, but it sounds like you had some hurdles getting this project together. It was no easy ride, I'll say that. I doubt it would have come together without the prince's unwavering dedication and tireless work. He had to find the time to raise funds and oversee the entire project, in addition to all of his official duties. And to add to that, he had to take care of all the arrangements necessary to get Viscount Osate installed as its captain. You can't even imagine how busy your schedule must have been. Even from a student's perspective, it sounds brutal. Well, for this ship to have any weight as a deterrent, I needed the Viscount. Thankfully, he agreed to my request. My plan is to create a neutral third power capable of acting independently of our nation's two competing factions. You can think of the Courageous as the first physical embodiment of that ideal. A third party, huh? I feel like I'm starting to understand at least part of what it is you're trying to accomplish. The road will be a difficult one, though. True, but this is only the beginning. Seeing this ship soar through the clouds for the first time moves my heart, just as when Class 7 was formally established. I look forward to seeing what the future holds for the Courageous, and for the brave men and women of your class. Your Highness. We live in interesting times. The political situation across the Empire seems to grow more ominous by the day. But with any luck, making a real show of this ship's launch will push back against the prevailing climate. Well, that's the hope at least. Either way, you'll have your whole life to split hairs about politics. For now, give your attention to your field study. Thank you. I know you have high expectations for us, and I hope we'll be able to meet them. It's a wonderful feeling standing on the deck, feeling the wind rushing by. And how much more liberating would it be to shed these tiresome clothes and hold a beautiful concert above Rower? I might have misheard you, but did you just say you'd like to fly toward this, hanging over the railing by your feet? Come now, dear Müller, I'm not that much of a masochist. I don't know if I'll ever reconcile this side of Prince Oliviert with what he's like when he's actually being serious. And the way Major Vander can shoot him down without batting an eye, even though he's the prince, is really something. I get the feeling these two must have been through something a lot tougher. I wonder how long they've known each other. Anyway, I think it's safe to call the grand unveiling of this ship a success. I suggest you focus on your field study for now. Leave keeping an eye on this fool to me. It's a full-time job. Thanks, we will. He and the prince really do seem close. Yeah. I mean, they were trapped in some weird cube. Crazy stuff. Alrighty. Honestly, you could have told me about this a little sooner. Is this the reason you've been so busy lately? I apologize for the secrecy, but much of this project fell under the veil of strict confidentiality. There are some things I'm forbidden to speak of, even to my daughter. I'm sure you realize that. But Klaus must have known, right? Why was he allowed to know while I was left in the dark? Well, we're really honored to have been invited aboard. We can rest a bit easier once we arrive in Rower, knowing we had an Imperial escort. Indeed you can. The Provincial Army will have little choice but to accommodate you. This ship's purpose is to act as a deterrent to both factions, as well as the Imperial Liberation Front. By doing that, we hope that the courageous will hold the old guard at bay long enough for something new to take root. I'm sure it will. They chose wisely in naming you captain. I still assume that it's not this ship's only purpose? Well, true. Building an airship this advanced seems excessive if all you're going to do is use it as a deterrent. Laura's right. There has to be some other purpose it was made to fulfill. Very perceptive of you. I regret that I wasn't able to discuss this with you properly when you were in Legram last month, but I'm proud to see how much you've grown since you enrolled at the Academy. I have my class to thank for that. Learning alongside them has been a constant source of insights. So, tell me, Rean, how's she doing? Is Laura getting along with the other students? Huh? I think she's been fitting in fine. I see, that's reassuring to hear. At times I worry that growing up in a sword-fighting household caused her to end up less well-rounded than her peers. I hope you and the others will continue looking out for her. Of course. We're glad she's with us. I can't imagine Class VII without her. I can't help but get the feeling that she's something more to you than simply a classmate. Whatever the truth may be, I hope you'll continue treating her as the lady she is. Wait, what? I'm not one to abide inappropriate behavior toward my daughter. I don't have the faintest idea what you're talking about, but I'd like to think I know how to conduct myself toward my classmates. Good, that's what I wanted to hear. What are the two of you going on about with all your whispering and your furtive glances? It's nothing you need concern yourself with, just a little discussion between men. You needn't worry, we'll be sure to get you to your field studies location safely. As a student of Thors, I expect you to give it your utmost. He really does care about her. Allow us to escort you to your destination. I hope your field study proves to be a fruitful one. Just don't forget to conduct yourselves as the students of Thors should during your time here. Nevertheless, being ferried to our destination in an airship like this makes me feel as though I could take on the world. While we won't be in the same group during this field study, I hope that it's a rewarding one for the both of us. Agreed. Alright, before we continue on to the next section of this chapter, I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope I'll see you in the next episode as well. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, toodles!